What is the creepiest thing you've seen in the woods, or in the mountains, or in deserts, or caves, or in a small towns, or in remote or rural areas, or while on large bodies of water, or while on an aircraft or a nautical vessel? This took place in the Australian bush around 10/11 at night. I was 17, leading a staggered column of about 60 cadets to our detachment campsite. Due to light discipline rules, only myself at the very front of the group and the other flight commander at the rear had torches on. This was so that any vehicles coming along the trail could see us and so that most of the cadets could maintain their night vision. We were camouflaged up and thus difficult to see at night. As we walked along, I periodically looked to my sides and kept seeing what looked like dewdrops on the ground, almost like tiny blue gems glinting in my torchlight either side of the road. I had to maintain my position in the formation, so I couldn't get a good look at what they were. However, after a while we stopped for a very brief break, and I took the opportunity to have a closer look. Walking over to the side of the trail, I spotted a small cluster of the diamonds and focused my head torch on them. Rather than seeing diamonds or dewdrops or anything remotely pleasant, I instead saw a group of about 5 large spiders just crouching in the leaf litter and staring at me. They looked like huntsmen's, which are about the size of an adult's hand. Sweeping my head around, I realized there were thousands of the things, all over the ground, some on the trunks of trees, and everywhere around me, glaring at the light affixed to my head. I had a very brisk walk back to the formation and attempted to play it cool while screaming in my head. Being a massive arachnophobe, I have no fucking clue how I managed to set up a tent and spend the next week in that cursed forest. I'd been at football training with a few of my cousins when I was about 10 years old. We decided to take a walk before our parents picked us up, so we went along the canal towpath. My cousin looked down in the canal and saw a really nice jacket floating along, and being a weird scavenger person decided to reach in to fish it out. Well, the jacket turned over, and so did the man wearing it. He also had no face left. Not gonna lie, that was rough. Posted about this before, but back when I was a kid, some friends and I came across people in robes chanting around a campfire out in the woods on the edge of the town we lived in. We were staying at a friend's house for a birthday party sleepover and went for a late night walk. This was back in the late 80s during the Satanic Panic. Looking back now, I'm sure it was just some teenagers goofing around, but at the time it scared the living bejesus out of us. One of the girls with us had a panic attack and started hyperventilating. Got pretty serious, but we finally managed to get her calmed down. I found a woman's body floating in a harbor in a San Pedro, CA. Felt like running at night last year because the park near where I live gets all pretty with the lights on in the dark. So after 5 minutes into the exercise, I feel the need to adjust my shoes because I forgot to wear a longer sock and they were hurting my ankle. I look up and I see this dark silhouette running towards me at full speed wearing a hoodie about 50 meters away. I was on the left side of the street and he was on the right, so it was clear he was running towards me. I legit almost shitted my pants and felt an adrenaline surge. I thought about fighting him if he got any closer, but in a blink of an eye, the person trips, falls face planted on the ground, and starts crawling in my fucking direction again. Fuck that. Dude is committed. I'm leaving. My girlfriend and I were hiking along some abandoned railroad tracks and we get to a small bridge going over a little creek. I'm about to go explore under the bridge when she points something out. I look over and in the woods across from us I see a guy. I am like whatever and keep headed down to the creek area, and then the guy stands up and he's naked. We immediately backtrack pretty quickly to get away from there, and once we're like 1 minute down the trail I look back and this naked dude is just standing in the middle of the trail watching us walk away. I cannot adequately explain how much this bothers me while also giving me about 100 different questions. Do you think he would have advanced on you if you hadn't moved? Did he look malicious or just plain insane? Man, good thing there were 2 of you. Naked people out in the middle of the woods probably don't give a fuck about much. Just the fact that he followed us up to the trail as we were leaving made me think he might have advanced on us if we were closer. It was all around just bizarre. He mostly looked crazy. Had really disheveled hair and a large messy beard which just really brought the whole look together. This is why I never hike without a knife or a dog, not trying to sound like some internet badass. But I was on a hike earlier this year solo, and I couldn't shake the feeling of something watching me. I was camping with my wife last year and in the middle of the night woke up so some cutting through our tent with a knife. Immediately yelled at them to fuck off. That guy had a gun pointed at him through the tent. Thank God he left because I didn't have shit besides a small pocket knife buried in my bag. My friend and I were chilling in the woods one day back in high school and see a dog walking by, later followed by this kid. He looked troubled, so we asked if he needed help. He obliged, telling us he was dog sitting for his friend and the dog got loose. So we spent a good hour following this dog and kid around, going deeper and deeper into the woods. Eventually I finally got the dog to come to me, but it wasn't wearing a collar so I wasn't able to get a hold. My friend and I look away for just few seconds to discuss strategy, and when we turned back around, the boy and the dog are both gone. It was like they completely vanished. Keep in mind it was autumn so any footsteps could be heard from quite afar, but it was just silent, not a single trace of them anywhere. Still don't really know what happened. Maybe they ran away real quick, who knows. Was definitely enough to creep us out though. There's a story behind this. Boy and dog lost each other in woods and both died, but now reunited with your help. Fear freed of their bond to the land and now up in heaven. Almost seems like a quest. I had the creepiest thing happen to me, but unfortunately it was in a small body of water. I am pretty sure I stumbled upon a child human trafficking operation, but that was on a train, so it's a story for another thread. Damn OP and his restrictive question. Thank you for watching, and like if you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe for daily Reddit videos.